You're too codependent. You hate all of my friends. Don't know how to fix it, but losing you's like taking my last breath. We're so disconnected. Like every time we message, I really thought you meant it. You took it all and now there's nothing left. Took it all and now there's nothing left. Took it all and now there's nothing left. Took it all and now there's nothing Took it all and now there's nothing left. I can feel the distance.
Really? He puts it on 0 seconds remaining.
He seems to be playing hard for it.
Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, he's got the oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. He's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
There's high off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Hold on, surely this kid. Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Stay on the goal line. He did
Nearly over!
sweep. It comes through. The venom, the improbable, the impossible. The 4-time champions.
What is up, everybody? I am Mealy. We are back in week 3 on this Monday of, what is it, season 11, 12? Season 12, almost forgot, dude. That week off, Chunk, that week off really gets me, I'm telling you. We had a couple of people who, like, even forgot to, schedule on time. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. This happens all the time. We see it with, at least when we have a week off. But speaking of a week off, hopefully everybody out there enjoyed your week break. Enjoyed the holiday as well. Had a good safe time with whomever, friends, family, etc. I know I did. But with that, I am ready to get back. I'm excited. It's match day. I got my match after this one, and you know what? I'm glad I was chosen to cast this one, Chunk, because these are my boys, dude. This is my orc here, Gorgons here. I'm looking forward to this series. But before we get into this series, Chunk, we have to go over very quickly the players of the week. So for the players of the week for week 2, starting out with the Titan League. Everybody knows this guy. He's a legend. Rockiers coming from Inferno with an absolutely insane 592 average score, Chunk. That is ridiculous. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to chime in there. I'm not gonna lie. That number is insane to me. Like I would be speechless too. I'm not gonna lie.
Did you see the saves that he averaged per game?
Oh, I didn't. You should tell me about that though.
4.44 saves per game in a total of 9 games. I think that is a total of what is that, like 36 or something? Something bonkers.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. And I'm sure, honestly, no, that doesn't really come to a shock to too many people because, like I said, Rockiers is a Titan legend. He's been a staple in that league for about 3 seasons now. But yeah, an absolutely crazy week 1 coming out from Rockiers. And, I say week 1, obviously, because Titan and Novice had that one of that first week bye week. So last week the week 2 was their week 1. Moving on to the Rival League, another well-known name around the Nemesis Gaming League. We have Flip 1010 from the Pineapples coming out with just as impressive 552 average score per game. Over 1.29 assists per game, 1.5 goals per game, 2 saves per game. Flip was all around the field in both of those matchups. Sealing the deal with a 6-1 total game record for the Pineapples. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say Pineapples are 4-0 right now. They're one of the top teams, if not the top team in Rival right now. So, obviously Flip is, one of the big reasons, for that success there.
Yeah, I believe they've only dropped one individual game, if I'm not wrong, which is very impressive start for them.
Oh wow. Moving on to the Challenger League, another name. There's just so many names here that are just very well known around the Nemesis Gaming League. We have Squirrel from Assassins, and I know the Assassins had a big week last week. They ended up having a 6-2 game record. Squirrel, just like the previous names mentioned, another insane average score per game at 579. He also shot, let's see, 1.6 goals per game, half an assist per game, just over 2 saves per game, and a 33% shooting percentage. Like, again, another player. So far, all three of these players absolutely insane in all aspects of the game: passing the ball, shooting the ball, saves, you name it. Definitely earned so far from these three.
Yeah, and then for Prospect League, we have Hunzer from Origin with a 510 average score per game with a total of 8 games. Averaged 1.25 goals, 1.25 assists, and 2 saves per game in that week spread. Yeah, I think he also is a Nemesis veteran, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Mealy, but I think he's been here for a while.
Yeah, I definitely recognize the name a little bit. I can't remember exactly how long that he's been around for, but I definitely do recognize the name, and definitely a name that deserves to be up there as well.
Yeah, then we'll move on to Novice. We have Exiled Tier, who averaged, or from the Crows, and he averaged 524.33, 1.67 goals per game, 1.33 assists, and 1.33 saves with a 5-1 game record. So a lot more balance from these last two players. Just doing it all and putting up 500 total is very impressive,
Yeah,
especially in a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say very impressive indeed, and like seeing the average score for each one of these players of the week being over 500, some pushing 600, I think is absolutely wild to me. I remember there's a couple of players of the week that end up averaging around 400, 415, and that's an impressive week to average over 400. But
Yeah,
these guys went absolutely off this week. It's just incredible to see, what these different kinds of players are able to do. Um, but yeah, so we're looking forward to this series here, Trunk. We have Gorgons versus Spitfires, right?
yes.
Yeah, so we're starting off with the first match of Gorgons versus Spitfires. We're getting the lobby just set up here, so we will be doing that or starting that series relatively soon here. Before we start though, is there any prediction that you have for this series? I'm kind of curious. As a novice league player, is there any prediction?
So both these teams come out with new rosters. So I think whoever plays with their new roster better will really come away with this game. But I personally think Parallax, veteran Nemesis player, will lead the Spitfires 3-1. I'm sorry it's your award,
It's okay.
but
It's okay. It's okay. I know the Spitfires roster has a lot in them, and I also was one potentially looking to pick up Parallax. I, even sent him a message, and then he got sniped from right under my feet. So it's kind of unfortunate that we have to play against him. I know he's a really good player, but I say that with confidence in my team. I know what they can do. They've been putting in work together, and biased or not, I have to say Gorgons in 5. I want to see. I think we're gonna get a Game 5 series, to be honest. But I gotta pick the Gorgons. I just have to. So yeah, so we are just now waiting for this series to begin here. Should be just another minute or two, just getting everybody back in the lobby. Had to do a quick little reset, just to make sure we were on the right server and everything. Again, I know I said it at the very beginning here, but hopefully everybody had a good week off and everybody's ready to get right back into it. I'm super excited. I'm glad to be casting this match with Chunk here to start. I'm hype. I don't know if you are. We
yeah.
got players joining the lobby. Let's get to it, baby. So that countdown took a minute. Looks like the kickoff is going to be going in the favor of Spitfires at first. Parallax up early. Gonna score a goal with 5 seconds into the game. Parallax, that player that we just mentioned, Chunk.
Yeah, just a nice slot over middle. Caught them off guard. It really caught me off guard. 5 seconds in the game, just a fast kickoff goal.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like the Gorgons were on their back foot a little bit there, unsure, what to do with that opening kickoff. At Kadofi here, looking to get a touch of his own, maybe a double tap. He does get it, and it almost goes in with almost an incredible shot. Parallax gonna collect this one though. Earn gonna meet him on the sidewall. Metallica gonna try to take that one. Mallow gonna get absolutely deleted by Earn. Ball on the right side, spilling out towards the mid. Metallica gonna go up, met in the air by Kadofi before getting deleted. Earn gonna hit the ball off the backboard, going deep into the Spitfire zone. Metallica waiting for it. A shot by Kadofi, saved by Metallica. Earn take his time here. Not a lot of boost though. Mallow just grabbing the 100, able to control this one. Sport gonna cut that one off. Possible pass towards mid. Parallax cutting that one off. Kadofi hitting it back towards Spitfires. Mallow gonna turn on that one, and we're seeing a little bit of ping pong here now, Chunk.
Yeah, just a lot of solo plays that have come out early. Not a lot of like teamwork, team passing. Just a lot of solo, giving the defense just a lot of time to make moves and get big clears, which is what Novice is mostly about.
Yeah, and potential open shot here for Kadofi, and he's gonna get it through. It's tying the game up 1-1.
Yeah, you just found a spot that was open after a pass from Sporkslinger. Just dropped it down to him. Great play by Gorgons to tie up this game.
Yeah, way to make the most of opportunities. A tie game with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Still plenty of time for a lot of action here. Earn gonna take the ball off the wall, gets one touch, maybe a little bit awkward. Parallax gonna try to get a beat, does not get so. Spitfires have to rush back. Metallica unable to get a touch there. Spork, potential pass across, not quite gonna make it. Earn hitting off the sidewall. Mallow gonna cut that one off. Kadofi playing it to the sidewall. Metallica cutting that one off. Playing sidewall as well. Spork on backboard, gonna get a 50 there. Mallow turning around, gets a 50 with Earn. A little bit of pressure coming out for the Spitfires now, which is kind of what I was thinking they were going to be needed to do. They have the players, Chunk. I just feel like they need to kind of press forward and put some more pressure on the Gorgons.
Yeah, as they get one across the middle, though, I feel like their pressure is nice. I feel like they got caught overcommitting the last time that they tried to put like a well-rounded team attack together. So I'd say if they do form an attack, they do not want to get punished on going the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's one thing that I know about the Novice League, it is that miscommunications could be your ultimate demise, as we potentially see one there come out from the Gorgons. Unfortunately, not able to make a touch. Both Kadofi and Sportslinger are going to go for it. Metallica going to eat that one right up and slot that one home.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of mistakes can lead to open shots in Novice, and they just easily slot in what is pretty much an open net.
The team to make the most out of their opportunities will be the team to come out victorious. Kadofi gonna get a hit. A little bit awkward. The Sportslinger, though, gonna take an air dribble off of that touch from Kadofi. It's kind of impressive there. Mallow cutting that one off the backboard. Potential pass here. Kadofi gonna cut that one off. A little bit of space. Demo coming out from Sporkslinger. Opens up the field a little bit. Pass towards mid. Kadofi and Earn both up. Pass over to Spork. Cleared away by Parallax. Spork gonna turn on that one again. Unfortunately, though, no Gorgon player there to get that. Parallax and Earn both up, both missing. Kadofi on backboard can hit that one forward. Possible pass, not quite. Gonna be cut off by Metallica to the sidewall. Mallow gonna leave that one for Parallax. A great leave. I like that play a lot there, Chunk. Kadofi with a nice clear. Oh, and it's gonna go in. Mallow with the follow-up.
A lot of ping pong going back here. It just keeps going back and forth, and he just catches it off the rebound. Earn nearly gets back to that, which would have been a very impressive save.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely insane if Earn would have fallen right back on that. Obviously, I would have loved to see that. Down to 2 minutes to go, the Gorgons have plenty of time to make something happen, but they got to find out how to go about it. It seems a couple of miscues have been coming out, and they're just not able to get the looks that they're hoping for. I'm unsure if there's something, going on internally or in communications, perhaps, but ball getting thrown towards the Gorgon side. A double commit on the Gorgon staff. Spork last back. Mallow beats him. Earn with the clear. Kadofi over at top. Metallica. That's all three. Kadofi with a double tap towards center. Spork gonna 50 that one. Ball is awkward in the corner. Metallica with no boost. Forced to clear it away. Earn also with no boost. Gonna cut it off. Earn still with no boost, trying to keep the ball in the offensive zone. Kadofi meeting Parallax up high. Spork also there. Metallica with the clear out. There are no Gorgons defenders back. Earn has to hurry to get back, does so. Mallow off the sidewall. Kadofi gonna meet that one there. Metallica 50'd with Kadofi. Parallax up, free shot. He's gonna slot it.
Absolute banger by Parallax. It just lands over middle off of interesting 50, and Parallax just finishes this one to put them up by 3 goals with only a minute left. Parallax is really leading this balanced attack. Everyone's got a goal in this game for them so far.
Yeah, Parallax will definitely be saying thank you very much. He will take that shot any day. If there's anything I know about him as a player, he will not waste those kind of opportunities. Earn, possible shot, not going to happen. Sport cutting that one off. Earn with the back pass towards Kadofi. A little bit of movement coming around now for the Gorgons. Possible shot, not going to connect. Parallax has a little bit of space. Awkward touch. Kind of going towards middle a bit. Parallax going to try to get a demo on Kadofi. It's not going to connect, though. Earn up high, met in the air with Metallica. Parallax possibly looking for a double tap. Not going to get there. Mallow going for the shot as well. Parallax with 100 boost now, collecting the ball. It's going to say, all right, we have 20 seconds left. Not a lot of time for the Gorgons. We'll just basically play defense and, you know, make it so they can't score. 10 seconds. It seems pretty much impossible for the Gorgons here in this game 1 chunk. What do you think they're going to have to do to come out in game 2 to have a little bit better of a show?
I think just a lot of mistakes were made on defense to allow this 4 goals to go in. I think if they just minimize mistakes, maybe have like a backup plan, like maybe someone else, always have like someone behind. Don't rely on one player. I feel like that could help them a lot. Just minimize those mistakes and like how they impact the series.
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of seeing that as well throughout the match for Gorgons. There's a couple of just awkward moments of, you know, double commits and kind of awkward touches. And I feel like if they kind of spread out just a little bit, you know, just give each other a little bit of space and play as a team, kind of like you were seeing with the Spitfires, even though they were mainly capitalizing off of 50s, which is totally fine. Even, you know, if you go up to Titan League, you know, play your 50s, right? But they were just in the right spot, you know, for when those 50s went high. I mean, we saw that shot from Parallax, 50 towards the like high up in the air, right? He was ready for it. It was an uncontested shot and he took full advantage. So we need to see that kind of offense coming out of the Gorgons, I feel like.
Yeah, 100%. I think Gorgons are just caught with those mistakes, like I said. I feel like if they can minimize those, I feel like it just really can lead them to victory in this game too.
Not gonna lie, Chunk, I almost just accidentally joined the Gorgons team. That would have been very funny. But we are getting started here with game number 2. Could be a pivotal, oh my goodness, pivotal game. Who knows? We're gonna find out now, though. Kickoff in favor of Spitfires. Mallow has a full tank of boost. Gonna be met in the air by Earn, though. It looks like he went with a Octane swap. Who knows if that's gonna be exactly what he needs to get his play started. Kadofi met in the air. Back wall of the Gorgons. Spork grabs the 100. Has some time and space, it seems. Just gonna get a weird pop, though. Ball high up off the backboard. No one really gonna go for that. Parallax gonna try for the corner. Spork gonna get over top Metallica. Spork gonna get around Mallow. This could be the counterattack that the Gorgons were looking for. Looks like it's gonna get shut down, though, and they can't quite get it going in time. Couple misses coming out from the Gorgons. Metallica gonna boom that one back into the Gorgon side. Kadofi off the back wall. Gonna hit that one out. Parallax gonna meet it in the middle with no boost. An awkward bounce. Spork with a possible shot on target. Going for the double tap. Can't quite get there. Kadofi, though, gets the cleanup, and it's gonna go in.
Big shot that goes in. It almost looked like the Spitfires could have saved that one. There was 2 players, I believe, in that position that just landed on the ball, and it goes in off their touch. It's unfortunate for them, but great momentum for the Gorgons heading into this game. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, you know, a very awkward moment, but sometimes in Novice, those awkward moments are actually your best friend, depending on what team you're on, of course. Being there, the Gorgons exactly is what they needed. A little bit of momentum. 1 goal lead here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. A great pass mid by Spork. Can't quite connect. Awkward off the ceiling. Parallax up. Metallica gonna 50 Earn. Kadofi up. Gets 1 touch. Mallow on his back foot. Spork gonna go for a possible shot. Not quite gonna connect on that one. Earn with almost a full tank of boost here off the backboard. Gets a pass around. Metallica is going to be able to collect that one, though. There's nobody there for the Gorgons, Chunk. That's kind of what I was saying before. They need to be there for each other more. They're having the passes, they're having the touches, right? But they're just not, capitalizing on each other's hits.
Yeah, 100%. I think it might have just been a boost scenario where no one had boost to really commit up field and make a play happen. I know that happens a lot now, but it's just boost management can be in positioning is really important to formulate these attacks that can really punish the enemy team.
Metallica met in the air with Ern. Ern with 0 boost. Parallax all the time in the world with a full tank. Gonna get 1, gonna get 2. Kadofi gonna collect this one back to his own corner though. Spork gonna cut him off. Metallica, free touch on the backboard. Ern sitting in net. No one there. 4 Spitfires though. Could have been an offensive opportunity. Spork clearing that one away. Metallica putting it back in. Spork gonna hit that one to the side. Mallow and Parallax both chasing that one down. Off the ceiling. Mallow no boost. Parallax gonna be there. Kadofi with a great save. Metallica off the corner. All the offense is in favor of the Spitfires right now. Got the Gorgons on their back feet, but it looks like they have to retreat. Spork. Oh, and he's gonna get dunked by Metallica for the equalizer.
Yeah, the big dunk coming out from Metallica. Spork might have been looking for a flick there to get across middle to his teammates, but really just gets dunked, and no one really expected that back home for the Gorgons, and they got punished for it.
Yeah, unfortunate if you're a Gorgons fan. I will say I love the idea, but that's the danger of doing those kind of plays, right? You got to make sure that it's going to be a free lane if that's what you're going to do. Ball awkwardly in front of the Gorgons net here. Parallax going to collect it. It goes high up. Spork with a great clear, though. Metallica can't quite get a touch. Spork get a nice hit. Parallax and Mallow forced to double commit. Spork going to get the 300 from Mallow. Spitfire's clearing that ball back away. Metallica and Kadofi up. Gets the beat. Mallow up as well. Gets 1. Can the Gorgons clear this one away? Ern does. Parallax right back up, though. Kadofi in that. It seems like, again, Chunk, that the Gorgons are on their back heels.
Yeah, they've minimized the mistakes, but just this consistent pressure as Kadofi puts one in. The counterattack coming from the Gorgons caught them all forward, like you said, on the attack. The pressure just comes, and Kadofi just slots it in.
Absolutely. I don't know if you saw it there too, Chunk, but there was a huge bump by Ern there on the back end that maybe gave Kadofi an absolutely free goal. If that be the case, and that's how you got to do it, then that's how you got to do it. Anything to go up 1 and win a series. A great pass off backboard. Kadofi Sports going to try to get the double tap. Can't quite get there. Metallica has the counterattack now. Ern forced to cut that one off. Does just that. Ball off ceiling. A little bit of a double commit coming from the Gorgons. Could be a free net if Mallow can get there. Can't quite get there in time. Spork off the sidewall. Met with Metallica. Parallax no boost in the corner. Going to collect 100 though. Parallax 1, 2, goes for a 3rd. Cut off by Kadofi with 30 boosts. Spork gonna cut off Kadofi. This could be awkward here now. Ern is left alone with Parallax lingering. Ern though just fine with 100 boosts as well. 50 from Mallow. Gonna go opposite side of the field. A traded demo between Spork and Parallax opens up the field for Kadofi a little bit. Gonna go high. Gets 1, gets 2. Shut down by Parallax. Spork off the backboard. A double tap opportunity, but not quite gonna get that. Parallax 50 with Ern to the corner. Parallax with no boost. Kadofi gonna collect that one in the corner. Metallica gonna take it back though. Ern off the backboard. We've been going back and forth, Chunk. 30 seconds left. What do the Spitfires have to do to score this equalizer?
I think the pressure they had was good. Just don't get punished. I think those passes like that one that just come across midfield are pretty dangerous. Those missed touches that they've had earlier in the series for Gorgons could also lead to an opening, as there's only 10 seconds left for Spitfires to make a comeback and tie up this game, send it to overtime.
There's 0 on the clock. Ball in the air. Parallax up. Met in the air by Ern. It is still shootable. Spork, though, going to be the hero of this game, shutting that one down and giving the Gorgons the win, putting the series to an even 1-1. Chunk, that was a completely different game, I feel like, coming out of the Gorgons. One thing that I think noticeably stood out was their ability to shut down Spitfires. That first game, I noticed that they just gave them way too much time, right? They gave them all the time in the world to do what they wanted. This time, they're like, all right, year and a half. Yeah, we're challenging. We're not going to give you a free shot. We're not going to give you a free pass. We're not going to give you like a free 50, however you want. Yeah, we're gonna make you have to do something. And I think it kind of made the Spitfires a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of contention on these big hits that were coming and big passes. Just didn't let them have any free goals. Didn't make any big mistakes. If they did, it was covered, and really just kind of set the Spitfires offense packing their bags and not getting a lot of solid opportunities to score.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like in in that match, there were a lot less opportunities than that first match, which just means you got to capitalize, like you said, on those opportunities a lot more because you're not going to get as many now. However, with that said, we are about to start game number 3. This game will decide who goes up one game and who gets that slight advantage going into the following game. Who's it going to be, Gorgons or Spitfires? Game 3 is starting now. Ern up early, gonna get one. Parallax gonna hit that one away. Spork off the corner, kind of goes backwards a little bit. Kadofi, though, gonna get that one off the back wall. Parallax gonna clear that one to Ern with a lot of boost. Goes high off the backboard. Mal forced to jump awkwardly. It's gonna go down, and Ern is gonna get the dunk for the first goal of game 3.
Yep, hit up and it just waterfalls down for Ern. Mal is just awkward in the net, hits his nose on the top of the goal. But good capitalization by Ern off his hit. Sets him up one.
Great read by Ern. I was a great defensive effort as well. They gave it all they had, but when a ball waterfalls down like that, as soon as it goes into the open spot of the net, it puts you in a really awkward spot where you really have to be in the perfect location to not get dunked, unfortunately. Spitfires have an opportunity here. Kadofi with not a lot of boost. Ern coming out with a demo. Might free up open some space for a counterattack. However, though, Gorgons, not a lot of boost throughout the entirety of the team. Spork forced to go just to force something to happen. Parallax a pass towards mid. Kadofi has to get a touch. Does just that. Parallax back to Ern, who's going to hit it far. Does it go in? Not quite. Mallow going to clear that one away. Spork up high. Kadofi chooses to go low on this one. A great decision there. Metallica, though, a wonderful save with having no boost there. Ern can hit that one again off the sidewall. Speaking of boost, it seems like Spitfires were low on boost. It seems like they had to retreat to go collect some, and does just that. Metallica pass towards mid. Spork awkward in net. Mallow gonna get the finisher.
We're middle of that. I was talking about late last game. These opportunities are so dangerous in Novice, especially with Mallow getting a demo there on a guy who's just kind of stuck stationary because the ball is just coming at him with so much speed. Great play by the Spitfires to equal up.
Yeah, the demo goal combo from Mallow freed open his own net in his own shot, and it worked wonders for him. Spork met high up. Ern towards the corner with some boost. Parallax challenging him, gets a bump on him. Spork, though, gonna get a great cut on that one. Ball's gonna go in the corner of Spitfires. Metallica up towards the ceiling. Doesn't get a touch there, though. Kind of throws off Spork, though. Gorgons forced kind of double commit. Ern there off the sidewall. No one there for the Gorgons, though, to be able to clean that one up. Spork, though, gonna get a free touch. Is it gonna go in? Goes off the post. Unfortunately, Parallax able to clear that one away out of harm's way. Kadofi awkwardly off the sidewall. Ern gonna take this one high. He's got a full tank of boost. Going for the double tap. Is he gonna get it? Not quite. Spork forced to sit back, wait for Kadofi to get back. Looks like both teams kind of letting this ball float around the mid as they go back for boost here. Ern off the ceiling. Kadofi up high as well. Gets beat on one. Metallica going to try to get a read. Not before he gets beat by Spork. Kadofi, potential shot coming through. Looks like it's going to be just wide off the post again. And we have Chunk. I don't know. Did you just see what happened there?
I don't think so. I just saw it go off the crossbar. Just a big opportunity wasted for them.
Oh,
we got a rule one.
We have a rule one, and it looks like a wonderful save by Mallow. Oh my goodness, we have a 2v2 situation in Novice League with a 1-1 game, and the series is at 1-1. This could be the goal that matters, and it's gonna come from a rule 1.
Yeah, big 2v2 here. I know a lot of people prefer 2s over 3s, and I feel like this really could determine the way the series goes, like you said. Big save from Ern.
This could be interesting indeed. 2v2 is a whole different game than a 3v3, as you were alluding to there, Chunk. Spork, with 0 boost, collects the 100 from the opposition. Ern doesn't have much boost, and a great shot coming from Parallax to put his team up 1.
Yeah, Parallax caught in a 1v1, which happens a lot more with the 2s, like we said, and just puts it very good placement. farthest away he can from the defender, just to free up the series and set them up in control of the series now.
Now, with that said, though, did they leave too much time on the clock? Obviously, I'm joking when I say that. Buffalo Bills fans know what I'm talking about. Mallow with a great shot. It's going to go off the crossbar. Metallica up as well. Off the backboard. Earn forced to clear it. Doesn't make connection, though. Spork over top two. Look, I was going to say, the Spitfires have to race back. They have no boost. And Spork's going to get the free net to get the equalizer.
Yeah, big play by Spork here to equalize it. He just sees them both there. Unfortunately, they were awkward and just had no boost, and Spork gets it all over them. Equally upsetting after Mallow missed a big opportunity earlier in that play. Comes back to haunt them, maybe made them a little awkward on that play.
Gorgons rendering that Rule 1 null and void. It is now a 2-2 game again. Awkwardness coming now, though. Kadofi able to collect that one, though, off the backboard. Has 61 boost. Gets bumped into Mallow's hit. Parallax with a shot on goal over top Spork. I don't think he saw him coming, Chunk.
Yeah, Kadofi kind of got bumped into that ball, and it set it back off backboard, and Parallax faster to capitalize, and Spork it's really kind of stunned here in headlights kind of situation after that bump off his teammate. Didn't really expect that.
Yeah, awkwardness will happen in the Novice League. It is inevitable no matter what series you play. But those moments are the ones that define games. Earn with a great touch off the sidewall, able to keep going with it. Gets it towards mid. Kadofi up high. Doesn't make connection with the ball. Earn try to get maybe a bump on Parallax. Doesn't quite hit it, though. Kind of awkwardness going on here. 40 seconds left. Gorgons down 1 in this very crucial game. No boost anymore for Spork. Hits it in the corner. Mallow with an incredible touch. Can't get another one, though. Earn hitting towards the net. Can be cleared away to the corner. Demo coming out on Parallax off the corner. Spork gonna try to get it back. Kadofi there. He's in an awkward spot, though. Shot pop coming up from Parallax off the backboard. Is anybody there to get it? No, not quite. Mallow across to his teammate. Metallica has the full boost. Gonna collect the ball here now. 10 seconds left. The Gorgons need to do something now if they want to even consider going to overtime. Pinch coming out. This ball not quite on net. Parallax gonna hit this one towards the corner to safety, guaranteeing the Spitfires get the 1 goal advantage. Chunk, holy cow, what a match.
100%. I think that game got a lot more physical with those. We saw that bump come out on, I believe it was Kadofi that kind of fed out. I kept seeing more and more demos and bumps. I think that kind of changed like the dynamic of the series and also the Rule 1. I look to see like more plays like that if Gorgons want to catch back up in this series, capitalize on their own plays like that.
Or, hear me out, we get into another Rule 1. How does that sound? That was absolutely insane. I saw, I think it was Cozy in chat, it said a Rule 1 in Novice on stream. He doesn't know if he's ever seen it. I don't think I have either, to be honest. That could have been a generational moment. Who knows? I was here to see it and witness it. Every one of you guys were as well. But job is not done, whether you are the Spitfires or the Gorgons. Gorgons down 1 game. Spitfires on match point. A very important game coming up next on Forbidden Temple. As we know with Forbidden Temple, though, anything can happen here, and a lot happens here.
Yeah, 100%. Parallax is leading this team. He's I believe, the only new player from the, I think, 3 total roster acquisitions on the waiver wire. I really think he's leading this Spitfires team a lot better than they had in the first week.
Yeah, Parallax could be that player that the Spitfires were possibly desperately looking for. Who knows, though, as game number 4 starts up. Going back and forth. Parallax with an early B. Earn with low boost. Forster just put it across. Ball's awkwardly up there. Metallica gonna get the first goal of this game early in game number 4.
Awkward with no boost. Those weird 50s we talked about earlier. Sprite kind of just platters it for Metallica, and it gets hammered into their net.
Like I said before, a 50 might be all you need, right? Sometimes the awkwardness feeds itself. Sometimes you just need some luck on your side, especially in the Novice League. Spork up high, a double commit coming out for the Spitfires. Ern has all the time in the world and a lot of boost. Gonna take it himself, maybe a 50. Kadofi gonna go up though and double commit on that one. Spork got to turn around, gets one touch, maybe a second, beats two. Mallow with a low boost on and kind of awkward off the sidewalk. Gonna clear that one back towards the Gorgons. Double commit again coming out from the Gorgons. Spork over top one. It's awkward. Metallica has a lot of boost and can get there off the backboard. Ern is up, gets one, goes for double tap, but doesn't have any boost. Mallow to clear that one away. Kadofi keeping this one in the Spitfires zone. Again, Chunk, I feel like we're kind of going back towards game one, game two. And I was interrupted by Mallow putting in an incredible shot. Spitfires with another great play.
Yeah, let it out middle off again another 50, and who scored Mallow? He just hammers it in over two players. They didn't expect that 50.
Yeah, again, we've been talking about the 50s. You just got to be there for your teammates, right? You can't force a double commit. Just be in the right spot, be in I guess just even generally in the right area, and be available for your teammates. It's kind of the theme of this match so far. We're seeing Kadofi gets one, Ern absolutely deleted by Parallax, and it's gonna open up the net for Mallow to score yet again.
Yeah, 100%. This big momentum coming off a lot of double commits that aren't really getting anything. Not really team plays, they're just double commits, not leading to anything but disaster for their defense. And they put in another goal off it. The hole keeps on getting bigger and bigger, Mealy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is a relatively big hole. Gorgons down 3.5 minutes left, though, Chunk. That is a lot of time. Question is, though, with all the pressure that the Spitfires are putting on the Gorgons, even though it's a lot of time, is it going to be possible? Kadofi over to the side, pops it up, can't quite get the double, kind of awkward. Mallow going for a double top of his own. He's not going to get it. Metallica going to put a shot almost on target there. Counter attack now. Kadofi over Parallax, the last defender. Ern on target, not quite. It's going to be awkward, but he does stay there and gets the finisher.
Yeah, that looked a little nervous for them a little bit. It was wide open as Parallax left alone, and they pop it over him and just clean up the goal. And that could set them on that course to tie up this game and force game 5.
Yeah, only down 2 now with 3 whole minutes to go. Plenty of time. This is Novice League after all. Metallica gets one over top of Ern. Awkwardness coming out from the back line of Gorgons. Ern and Kadofi together. Ern towards mid. Gets a 50 on Mallow. Spork off to the side. Mallow there, though, patiently waiting. Spork gonna wait for this off the back wall. Ern gonna get absolutely deleted. An open net, though, maybe for Kadofi. Metallica, though, gonna be the hero in that one. Ern shot on target and then gonna go high. Metallica can't quite get the clear. Mallow does, though. Full boost for Ern and plenty of time as well. Gonna collect this one off his back wall. Go for the air dribble. Gets one touch. A little bit awkward, though. Parallax gonna get it out of the air. Kadofi gonna meet him there. Metallica off the sidewall, spilling out towards mid. Spork up high, gonna get a touch off the corner. Maybe another. Not quite. Gonna be shut down by Mallow. A lot of back and forth again in this last minute. And oh my, I gotta stop talking, Chunk.
A heartbreaking dunk by Mallow. We've seen it happen before in this series, and it happens again when they need it not to. Big play by Mallow to, what I would say, almost finish off the series, but Novice is like Rumble. You can get 5 goals in like 30 seconds.
Absolutely. Mallow picking up the hat trick, and now also picking up the least favorite management member from yours truly. Ern up high, gonna miss that one. Metallica had an open net, couldn't quite get it. Ern struggling to get back with that as well. Kadofi awkwardly off his own back line. Sport gonna collect that one, hitting over top of Metallica. Parallax is gonna wait. Kadofi's gonna cut that one off though. Maybe a double tap. Not quite gonna get there though. Mallow clearing that one away. Spork with pretty much no boost. Mallow again gonna dunk. Almost gonna get a 4th goal. This has been the Mallow show during this game 4, Chunk. Metallica, a shot of his own, a pinch coming up. Mallow back though, only has 12 boosts. It's awkward. It's very slowly rolling towards these Spitfires. And Metallica there though is able to get to that one in time. Over top of Kadofi. Spork up high, not a lot of boost. Can't quite get to it. Speaking of not a lot of boost, Ern now with 0. Ball towards mid. Parallax gonna hit it back towards the corner. A little bit of awkwardness though coming out, and this could be exactly what they need anyway. Kadofi, a lot of boost. Gonna get met on the sidewall by Metallica. 1 minute remaining, Chunk. If the Gorgons want any chance at winning this game, they need to do something, and they need to do something fast.
Yeah, they're still awkward on defense here. They need to get that out and get goals as we speak. Opportunity for Spork, but I really think that they need like a lot to commit here, a lot more than they are. Even without boost, you're down 3 with only 40 seconds left. You got to send the house.
Absolutely. All gas and no brakes. Spork gonna hit it off the corner. Look for a demo on Mallow. Mallow a little bit awkward though. Kadofi has to turn around. Double commit coming out from the Gorgons. All just gonna spill out in the corner. Metallica collecting that one though. Gonna take his time. He's gonna say, that's all right. You guys are down 3. Take as much time as you need. Mallow, 20 boost, gets it off the sidewall. They're just playing monkey ball at this point, hitting the ball back and forth. It doesn't matter. 15 seconds in, counting down. Parallax with an open net. Doesn't quite hit that, but it's just about over as Mallow gonna miss wide as well. 10 seconds left. The Gorgons are not going to be able to get any form of a comeback with this series, and it looks like Spitfires are going to best them 3-1.
Yeah, big plays by Mallow and sealing up that game 4 with solid 3 goals on 5 shots, leading his team there. Just a phenomenal game in total. Really looked like either team could have come away with it, but I think the way the Spitfires played the latter half just really took the wind out of the sails of Gorgons.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It seemed like we had a little bit of life coming out from the Gorgons, but Mallow, whatever went going on in his brain, he said, you know what, we're going to shut down any form of momentum that the Gorgons had, and absolutely just went haywire during that entire last game. Absolutely went insane. A very good series, though, overall. Parallax, we mentioned his name at the beginning, and even throughout the series, did the Spitfires find the guy that they were looking for? In Parallax, find the player they were looking for. Could he be that difference maker for Spitfires moving forward?
I think he brought a lot to this team tonight. 100%. He gave a balanced attack. He didn't try to do everything himself. He applied pressure with his teammates. He played the team game as you want to see down in Novice. It's not a one-man show. So, absolutely phenomenal play by him tonight.
Yeah, all around great games. I was glad to be able to come back in this first match of week 3 after this long break. Chunk, it was great casting and being in the booth with you yet again, and I look forward to more opportunities for that. With that, though, everybody who's here, we're going to end up going on a little bit of a break. I don't know about how long, a few minutes maybe. And we have our next matchup coming up. It is from the Titan League. I'm unsure. I can't remember if we had a Titan team or Titan matchup streamed in week 2. So I apologize if we did and I'm forgetting. If we didn't, though, and this is the first one, you guys are in for a treat. We got Godfathers at 1-1 versus Nebula, who are still looking for their first win. Remember, there was only 1 week so far from Titan League, so not a lot to go off of, in terms of games so far, but a lot to look forward to in the future. Anything else you want to add, Chunk?
No, I think we should have let the teams get ready for their game.
Absolutely. We'll catch you guys back here for the second match of the night. It's been real.
early. He puts it in. 0 seconds remaining.
Both teams gonna be fighting hard for it.
Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. Place this he's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back. On the backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on the net.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Hold on. Surely this can't. Oh my
Let's
lord!
go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Copenhagen on the goal line. He did not win.
Nearly over.
Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Nemesis Gaming League. I'm Dronas alongside Ventus for the second match of the night. We, of course, head to the Titan League. Of course, the best of the best. Godfathers versus Nebula. We just saw an 0-2 team in Spitfires get their first W's. Nebula's also 0-2 going against the 1-1 team of the Godfathers. They're also looking for their first win of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I really hope, you know, as a former Nebula player and GM back way in the day, you know, I still hold much love in my heart for some of these players, especially Zinvez and Denzi. Both those players are very amazing, and they are rounded out by Brandon, who, you know, was one of those main players for Venganza last season that helped them win the chip. Hopefully, you know, it's just a little groggy start for Nebula, and they're able to bounce back today and get a win. But, you know, looking at Godfathers, this team is also pretty impressive. They just added Dimitri, which is a player who is very, very good. He was on, I believe, the Bananas a couple seasons ago that went to the finals and lost. So another really good player that they added onto that team. So we'll see how that works out. But, I mean, both very solid teams, and their records don't really reflect their true skill.
Yeah, obviously the Titan League is extremely difficult to get through, and you know, yeah, Nebula it's had a tough start. I still would expect them to try and really light things back up, especially along with Brandon on that roster. I think they can do very well. Dimitri being a great addition to the Godfathers, and Godfathers, they've had themselves an interesting start as well. I mean, they're 1-1. Both matches went to game 5. They won the first one versus Pinnacle, lost the second one versus the Spartans. So, you know, they've already played 10 games out of a possible 10 to start the season, which is incredible in its own right, just showing how close and the depth that the Titan League really has to offer. But this should be a really fun one. I mean, regardless, we're going to see either, you know, a team like the Godfathers, they're going to go plus 500, they're going to go 2-1, or Nebula, we're going to see them get their first win of the season. It should be huge no matter what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And what you were talking about, you know, how close Titan League is, I wanted to talk about Zenith real quick, because he is on the sheets as one of the lowest sals. I think he's like 18-14, around that range, one of the lowest, but he's been putting up crazy stats in the first week. He was averaging 600 a game. I mean, absolutely crazy stuff, you know, that you're getting out. Crazy value as the third man in that roster. You know, really, really good, solid work. And it just shows that, like, you know, MMR isn't necessarily everything in Titan League, and, you know, even some of these players who are lower salary-wise can have huge pop-off games. So, I mean, we'll see if, you know, Zenith is able to kind of show us what he did in week 1.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if that is the case. We do also have Prev in place of JP for the Godfather, so that'll be another interesting player to keep an eye on is Prev. But game 1 underway. Godfathers versus Nebula, and again, this is one of those matches where I would expect it to be close, but honestly, I think we both know anything can happen here.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that I might give the slight edge to Nebula just because seeing that they have to replace JP with Prev tonight. I'm not entirely sure how the Godfathers are going to play with the two new additions. You know, it's one thing adding only one person into the rotation, but adding 2 is definitely something that might throw off the game plan a little bit, so that's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Prev and see how he does working into this one as Dimitri just fires high. That one could have been locked down, but the 4th defender of the crossbar already stepping in early. Denzi takes liftoff here, not much to work with. Zinvej will get knocked down. Prev looking for something middle, leaves it for Zenith. Good 50 pass, 2 already. Nice back and forth between both sides inside the first minute. Kind of looks like they're both, finding their feet in this series, which would be expected. I mean, there also is, that little bit of history between these two teams, knowing that, the Godfathers eliminated Nebula in the quarterfinals of last season.
Yeah, and I think both Zinvez and Denzi were on that Nebula squad last season, so they definitely have a gripe against Godfathers and want to show out and kind of show that they improved over the off season and show them what they can really do. And a shot there coming out by Denzi, just taking advantage of the defense, just missed rotations there, and a good bump attempt by Zin, throwing them off their line, and a great way to go up 1-0.
Zenith honestly just dove in a little bit too far for that corner boost. Sometimes, you want to try and take that shiny thing away, and unfortunately could not get back in time, and Nebula were able to pounce. We have seen that the Godfathers get a little bit too far up front early on in this minute and a half, have been able to rotate back in time, but that time weren't quite able to stabilize, and Nebula were there for it. So first 2 minutes almost gone. Another shot coming out from Brandon will be shut down by Dimitri. Brandon looking for another, blocked once more. Denzi can't really get a hold of this one. Still now looking for a bump. It will be taken away. Zin has a carry, puts it middle, trying to get past Dimitri all by himself on another save coming from the new addition.
Yeah, and great plays on defense coming out. It looks like there might be an open net there for the Godfathers. Zenith gonna put that one away, and just a misread of the play by Denzi, expecting Brandon to get a touch on that reset backboard double touch there, and just not able to do so, and it kind of leaves that Nebula rotation out of whack, and Zenith gonna capitalize for that Godfathers to equalize 1-1.
Yeah, it's just one of those quick plays where you put so much faith in a teammate, and if they miss, it can immediately cause everything to crumble, as it did there. And half this game gone here in game number 1. Still knotted up 1-1. I would, again, expect it to stay. I would expect us to see much more of a defensive series here, Ventus. I wouldn't, I'm expecting some highlight plays on offense. It obviously is the Titan League, but I think the defense is what stands tall, but it's going to be the offense getting the spotlight here as Brandon found Denzi across, and that is a beautiful shot. 81. Prev couldn't keep it out.
Yeah, and it was a disgusting fake by Brandon, just absolutely filthy, faking the first man to open up that space in the midfield. A great pass over to Denzi, and Denzi just able to slot that one away, able to generate so much power. And, it was a great 1-2 play from Denzi and Brandon, but, I mean, Zin has done a lot so far this series as well. As I say that, I spoke into existence. He's going to get another goal off of a pass from Denzi off the sidewall. But Zin has been, kind of the disruptor against this Godfathers. He's going for constant bumps. I believe he's gotten 2 demos already throughout this game number 1, and kind of just been a nuisance to the Godfathers defense, and so he's opened up a lot of these opportunities where Brandon and Denzi can pass like they were to each other, and so big props to Zin, especially getting that goal there.
Yeah, and we did once again see the Godfathers just pushed up a little bit too far and got caught trying to get back in time. We've seen it already a couple times. I think 2 of those 3 goals have just been straight up Nebula being able to swiftly counterattack, and Godfather's not ready for it. Got to be able to take control of that. Of course, it is just game number 1. There's still a lot left to be played, and of course it is just week 2 for the Titan League, and the rest of the leagues it is week 3, but Titan League starts a week later, so it's still very early on in the season, still a lot of kinks to work out, and we know Godfathers, having to kind of mix up their starting 3 a little bit, so there's always going to be that learning curve, but it's how teams are able to work through it.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we constantly see in the Titan League is not super active players among the Titan League. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you see a lot of teams just get on for the matches. A great shot there by Brandon, able to find the back of the net. Denzi kind of running, demo patrol on that one, just looking for the back of the net, kind of pushing Prev into an awkward spot, but Brandon just able to snipe that one in the bottom left corner to give a 4-1 lead. But, I mean, as I was saying with the Godfather's missing player, I mean, that's one thing you constantly see in Titan is, like, sometimes you'll have a star player missing or one of your players will be having another tournament. You know, at this point, you're looking at the Titan League. A bunch of these guys are 2K. They might be, you know, looking to play for RLCS. You know, bubble players kind of thing. They have their sights maybe set on some higher things. So then they might not be able to make a Monday or Wednesday game if they have other scrims or tournaments that they have. But so it's just always something you got to look forward to, is how teams are going to be able to recover and kind of pivot off of, you know, potentially missing a player. So it's definitely something to be interested in.
Yeah, it really is, as Denzi will just get a quick backflip pass. Brandon lobbed it up, and he sent it over the hood of Dimitri. Nothing he could really do there, and Nebula have really run away with this first game. And ultimately, Godfathers, you know, we spoke about their defense in the pregame, but it has got to do better here, Ventus.
Yeah, there's a bunch of missed rotations coming out, and we see a little bit overcommitting from all of the players, you know, and on Godfathers. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised because I know Dimitri as much more of a third man, kind of that solid rock defender, and kind of staying third man. I mean, they get a nice goal there. You know, I say 10 seconds left. I don't really think they're gonna, you know, catch up to the 3-goal difference now. But Dimitri is like a very much a consistent third man who, you know, is not going to get scored on, and a player who, you know, excels in that role. So I'm kind of surprised to see he's not necessarily being that more hard third man and kind of playing that defensive third, as we've seen previously from him. So I'm wondering if that is another reason why the Godfathers have struggled so far this series, but they've just, their rotations have been all out of whack. So hopefully they can clean it up for game number 2.
Yeah, and Nebula, I mean, if they're able to keep this pace up, they very well could go on to take their first series of the season, as, you know, a nice win in game number 1 there. But ultimately, you know, Nebulas were doing great. They looked strong. They had their counterattacks. Their defense was in order. Their offense was in order. It just felt like the Godfathers were a little bit weaker coming into that one. It seemed they were a little bit more awkward. You could kind of feel it on the pitch. And now, going into game number 2, you got to find some way to fix that. If you do not, we're going to see Nebula do exactly what they did in game number 1, really keep up that offense, keep up the counterattacks, and they're going to try and put up another 5 goals. 5 goals in the Titan League, that's a lot for one game.
Yeah, and it's a lot for Titan League especially. I feel like once you start getting to the higher levels of gameplay, you start, you know, zeroing in, cutting down all of your mistakes, and you really have to earn each and every goal. And, you know, Nebula might have earned, I don't know, 2 or 3 of those 5, but I mean, they were just capitalizing on a lot of mistakes, and that's something you don't really see too often in the Titan League. So hopefully, you know, I'm praying Godfathers can clean it up and give us a good series, but you know, if this keeps happening, I can see Nebula just pretty much only, you know, capitalizing on the weaknesses, and, you know, they don't really have to play super well just to get the win.
Well, we'll have to see game 2 getting underway. Godfathers needing to adapt, and that's just kind of the big question mark as of right now. Nebula, they're just looking to keep doing what they're doing, not having to put too much stress. A nice demo in the midfield from Denzi Dimitri. Got free reign of this one, tries to set it down, no double. Zenith flies in. Denzi wins another big 50, could not put a shot on with low boost. There was another look at a swift counterattack. That one will be cut short. Good 50 from Zinvez, trying to work his way middle. A little bit of awkwardness still on the defensive side for Godfathers, and Denzi punishes Nebula up 1-0 early.
Yeah, and you see the Godfathers, 2 players on the back wall right on top of each other, making it super awkward, and you know, you don't really see who is going for that ball in the rotation, and it's just really difficult, and it just leaves those openings for Nebula. It's another goal that, like, they capitalize on, but, you know, I feel like it's a misrotation and a mistake from Godfathers more than, you know, Nebula really showing their prowess. So I mean, again, it's one of those things where Nebula's capitalizing off of the defensive mistakes, but, you know, if Godfathers can cut down on that, then I might lean, you know, back into Godfather's favor, that their offense can look a lot better if they just clean up the rotations.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is, and you know, we've said it before with some teams, is some teams, you know, it might not be their night, and rather than their, you know, opposition beating them, sometimes it's just a team beating themselves. And, you know, at the Titan League level, with the defense we've seen from Godfather so far. It does look like they are just beating themselves at some point. You know, that first goal was a perfect example. The shot wasn't, you know, incredible. It was more so just an awkward rotation on the defensive side. And speaking of, we see it a little bit on the other side from Nebula as Dimitri will just go the full length of the field. No one for an early challenge. And then Zin and Denzi all over each other. And that one just own goals.
Yeah, it looks like it was a bit of a messed up pre-flip on the side of Zinvez. He was just trying to pre-flip it to the corner and kind of get that catch, and he pre-flipped a little too early, and so it threw him past the ball in the solo play of Dimitri and made it super difficult for Denzi to read the play, and so he had to kind of pre-jump the shot on net from Dimitri, and Dimitri's super smart play, just taking it slow, holding his flip until he absolutely has to use it just to throw the defense even more awkward. You know, a great showing for the Godfather's offense in game number 2.
And we'll see if they can keep it up. Zenith takes flight, doesn't have a lot of boost to work with. Prev, no touch here. Denzi will sweep it away, gets 50'd. Brandon towards the sidewall again. Demos being traded by either side. Maybe looking for Prev. Denzi spawning just in front of the ball. Now Zinvez will clear it out. It's a 3v1 on the other side. Brandon, long range shot. Zenith, low boost still makes the save. Prev will boom away the follow-up now. A quick beat through the corner. Here come the Godfather. Zinvez will send it right back out to the midfield, and a miss from Zenith will really force the Godfathers to backpedal into their own side. Another good 50 will fall to Prev. One touch out. We'll leave it for Zenith. Plenty of room through the midfield. Another miss coming through. Zinvez to Denzi. It's a 3v. No one, and Nebula reclaim the lead.
Yeah, and you see that misflip from Zenith is so disastrous for the Godfathers. Dimitri and Prev. Prev was cheating upfield looking for a pass. Dimitri was cheating upfield to go for demos, and I believe he got one. And so it was all on Zenith to make a touch. He just couldn't get it. You know, it's one of those things where he's beating himself. You know, he has shown he's a great player, but you know, maybe it might not be his game. You know, he'll show up again for game number 3, but for game number 2, you know, just a couple too many mistakes on his end.
Yeah, and it was, again, one of those situations where there was so much room to work, and it looked like the Godfathers had a chance to take themselves the lead, but that one little mistake, and suddenly you're once again just not in the right spot. And, you know, Godfathers, they got to be able to pick it back up. They got 90 seconds to try and tie this thing back up. Brandon, big clear out. Zenith is there, soft touch, now gets bumped by a teammate. Denzi fires wide. Prev will send it towards the far corner. Zin next in line, charges at middle. This could be a nice counterattack for the Godfathers, and it interrupted by Brandon. Immediately tries to pinch at middle, will be cut down by Prev, but approaching the final minute of regulation. Nebula looking to extend the lead, and an own goal up high from Dimitri will do just that.
Yeah, and that's so tough for Godfathers, because, I mean, you have to contest the double touch there by Denzi, and, you know, you're expecting Denzi to put it a little bit more onto the sidewall and go for a double lower due to that contesting, but he puts it just right in the top of the corner, you know, off the backboard that Dimitri can't reach it, and it unfortunately he's just going to land back into it off of the bounce off the backboard. And that's one that I don't want to put too much credit in, but, you know, unfortunate play for the Godfathers, kind of putting game number 2 further out of their reach, but, you know, you don't want to count them out just yet.
And there's still going to be a few chances left, but starting to run out of time here, approaching that 30-second mark. Prev, one touch, looking to try and set up Zenith. That he will. Zenith trying to send it across to Dimitri, but he's demoed. Now this one up from Denzi off ceiling, just looking to take some time. Gives it over to Brennan towards the backboard. Dimitri, a nice save out, but too much time ticking off the clock here for the Godfathers. Nebula not letting them breathe here late in game number 2, not giving any chances for some more offense to develop, more bumps, more innocent challenges, as this one will fly wide. Zenith has a chance, fires wide. Dimitri gets outsped by Denzi, and that'll be it for game number 2. Nebula hunting down a sweep for their first series win of season 12.
Yeah, and Nebula looked good. I can't even, you know, dish too much on Nebula. I've talked about, you know, them not really earning these opportunities, but they're forcing these misrotations on the side of Godfathers, and the disruptions from the demos and all of the bumps from Zinvez and Denzi have really, it seems like, gotten into the Godfathers' heads, and so they're constantly paranoid about these bumps and demos coming in, and it's kind of, it might be throwing them off a little bit too much, throwing them off their rotations, just leaving these opportunities open to Nebula. And I mean, Zinvez and Denzi, kind of that 1-2 duo right now. 3 assists from Zinvez, all 3 goals to Denzi. It seems like they're firing on all cylinders right now, and they look like they can't be stopped.
Yeah, now it's up to the Godfathers. They gotta win 3 in a row, which is obviously easier said than done, especially, in the momentum of a reverse sweep. Your back is against the wall going into game number 3. You gotta somehow turn it around and then keep up that momentum for 2 more games. But going into game 3, this will be a very interesting tell. I think, the first minute is gonna tell us a lot of what we need to know. If they're gonna be able to bounce back, they got to get it done early. I don't think they want to let this one stay close to late. Otherwise, I think the nerves are going to get there a little bit and just going to favor Nebula more and more.
Yeah, and we've seen some mistakes coming out from Zenith that are uncharacteristic. I mean, Dimitri's been pretty solid, but we haven't really talked about Prev much. Kind of been that, non-existent player, and not really one that's shown great presence on the field. So I might be turned to look out. Oh, this one actually is going to find the back of the net. It looks like just another long ball misrotation that Nebula is going to catch. It looks like Prev going a little bit too aggressive for the bomb. Zenith playing way too far up his third man. It's just going to find the back of the net, and not looking good for Godfathers. And I'm really hoping Prev can step it up in this game number 3. He hasn't really been much of a presence on the field, so hopefully he's going to be there.
Yeah, but I think Denzi wants a little bit more of the spotlight, as he has put away the last 5 goals for Nebula. Got all 3 last game and now has gotten 2 in the first 20 seconds, as Dimitri looked to be a bit of an own goal there. I think that would have been out off the post, but regardless, Nebula 2-0 up in the first 18 seconds. And, I said Ventus that this one's going to be telling very early on, and do you think that's the tell right there? Do you think it might already be over?
I mean, from the way it's looking, I might have to be inclined to agree with you there. Giving up 2 goals in the first 30 seconds is already difficult enough. Now you have to add on the fact that they're already down 2-0 in the series, and we're already seeing the same mistakes coming out from Godfathers that we saw in the previous games, where they're too aggressive in the rotations. They're not finding each other. They're making the mistakes and leaving kind of opportunities like that to Denzi. Gonna get the skim double touch to give them a 3rd goal. A great pass from Brandon, right to Denzi. Denzi, a great first touch, able to put that one perfectly to himself on the backboard. It looks like Zinvez was also pre-jumping just in case Denzi missed it. But Denzi gonna find the back of the net, and 3 goals now with only a minute of gameplay is very telling.
Oh no, and yeah, now we're just seeing mechanics and mind games from Nebula, as Brandon sped it up, slowed it down, and Prev just had no chance, as Brandon will get on the board after, again, Denzi picked up a hat trick inside the first minute. It is 4-0, and the Godfathers, this is not going good, and maybe another look off the kickoff. No, this one will be shut down by Prev, but Nebula, they are in more than a good spot here.
Yeah, and at this point, you could kind of say that Nebula might be trying to stat pad now, just trying to get their points per game up, or maybe helping their fantasy owners a little bit for the Nemesis fantasy managers out there. Hopefully one of your players is Denzi. It looks like he's having a stellar week right now with 2 hat tricks in the series, and we're just all this good play coming out from the side of Nebula. It seems like it's not the Godfather's day. I'm super interested to see another another goal coming out for Nebula. A demo just opens the path for Brandon. I'd be interested to see how this Godfather's team plays with JP back, and I want to see how they are with their full roster, because it seems like there's just a lot of miscommunication there between Godfathers. This is a new roster. Dimitri just got added as well, so it is most likely their first time playing, especially with Prev. but I am still interested. I think Godfathers can still be a great team. They're showing signs that they can be a great team, but they just need to fix their team play aspect, which, easier said than done, right? But it's something that they're going to have to show that they can do in order to show that they belong in the playoffs of the Nemesis Titan.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now is this series, unfortunately, does look like it might just end here in 3. I don't know if the Godfathers are going to be able to get back 5, maybe 6, as Brandon up high will be shut down by Dimitri. But regardless, the Godfathers, they need to use this as a learning opportunity. I mean, this is the toughest loss they have faced. Prev, look there, could not put a shot on. Again, the Godfathers being 1-1, they won a Game 5 and lost a Game 5. This is easily the least competitive series they've been a part of to start this season, and they got to figure out what really went wrong and what they can do better. Dimitri will get 1 on the board here, and there's still 2 minutes, and 4 goals in 2 minutes is doable, but I mean, just knowing the track we're on, I don't know about it.
Yeah, and it seems like, Nebula kind of playing around with their food, going for just double pre-jumps off of each other, kind of thinking to themselves, yeah, we have already won this game, we've already won the series. I'm not gonna take too much into that Godfather's goal. I think if, Godfather score another one, Nebula will kind of just be like, oh, okay, we just gotta stop pre-jumping each other and stop, kind of absolutely trolling, and we should be able to hold them off for just long enough to win the game. So, even though Godfathers do get a consolation goal, we'll see if they're able to continue off of this one goal.
I mean, Prev will get himself a nice little 1v2 here. I mean, I wish we could have seen more of these plays. Unfortunately, just at this point, it doesn't seem like much behind it, knowing the deficit we're at. But got a mind game, got the 50 on the goal line. That's a great way to pick up another. Unfortunately, that'll just cut down the lead to 3. And Nebula, I mean, as you said, Ventus, I think they're still just very comfortable, not trying all too hard. I think they're kind of going through the motions here to kind of try and finish this 3rd game. But right now, I mean, they're looking super strong, and obviously the offensive performance from Denzi has been incredible. Brandon has been a great piece, as well as, we've seen Zin being a great playmaker as well, and I'm really interested to see if this kind of Nebula team can stay in the works for the rest of this season.
Yeah, I think that they might have missed Brandon for a series or so. I was looking at the stats earlier, and I didn't see his name up there for any of the stats, which is really uncharacteristic. And
Okay.
I didn't see him up there for games played either. So I'm thinking that they might have been missing him for at least one of the series last week, and that might be a big reason why they've started out 0-2, because, I mean, as we can see, Nebula looked pretty dominant so far. And I think that might be a big reason as to why. Obviously, it might be speculation. It might just be, blown smoke. But it's something to look at, especially with how well, Brandon this game, 715 points with 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 saves, kind of all around, player. So hopefully they, Nebula can continue to show that they're the team to beat and climb up those power rankings, as it looks like this clock is going to hit 0 and Nebula will officially take the sweep, and a dominant sweep at that.
Yeah, and that's a great way to get their first victory of Nemesis Season 12, and it really just was a standout performance from all 3 of these players. Of course, Denzi, I mean, the offensive weapon could just not be stopped, and everything seemed to be clicking for Nebula, and then, of course, on the other side for Godfathers, everything seemed a little more awkward, and obviously, we kind of expected that going in, but I think we really saw it being displayed on the field.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I said it once, I'll say it again, firing on all cylinders. I mean, it just seemed like they were catching Godfathers completely out of rotation. They were causing the missed rotations from bumps and demos from Zin, and Zin really picked it up in that last game. But definitely going to be a team to look out for, especially being 0-2. It is a long season, and we might still see them claiming one of these top seeds. But if they are a lower seed, that's one that you do not want to be playing against if you're one of the top seeds. Usually the lower seeds are not as strong player wise or team wise, and so usually those are more easily decided with the high seeds versus the low seeds. But I mean, if Nebula comes in as like a 5 or 4 seed, that's going to be a really tough for a 2 seed or a 3 seed to play. Like,
Yeah, I think when playoffs come around in the Titan League, no one is safe. No one is safe.
yeah, that might be a great statement. I just think that the Titan League can be so swayed by availability or who's able to show up to game days a lot of the time, that some of these teams that are lower seeds who haven't had the greatest availability, those players show up for the playoffs, and then it's a completely new revamped team that you have not seen at all this season, and it completely throws some teams off. I mean, the Infernos of the world could be completely upset. I mean, Blizzards looked really good. They might be completely upset. I mean, the Godfather's shown that like JP not being there is very important to their team. So I mean, if JP isn't there for a lot of the Godfather's games and then comes back for playoffs, and they somehow are the 6th seed or however many teams make the playoffs, I mean that might be a tough team to play against. And then you're talking about the 1 seed playing against a team like that. So then it's like it's going to be really interesting to see the playoffs for the Titan League.
Yeah, it will be indeed. But once again, Nebula, they pick up their first victory of Season 12 Godfathers. They will drop down to 1-2 in their record. We are going to take a quick break before our final match of the night in the Challenger League, Dissolved versus Drakes. Don't go anywhere.
patiently waiting. Oh, I think I'm fading. Is anybody out there a doctor? Somebody save me. Oh, I'm going crazy when every little thing is about her. Does she love me or does she love me not? Every day's he pulled apart. Does she love me or does she love me not? I sold my soul for the power. Here we go one more time. For the people in the back. One more cry for the night. So let's try to make it last. Here is my heart now decide to cut it aside on a dotted line. Here we go one more time. For the people in the back. One more cry for the night. So let's try to make it last. Here is my heart now decide to cut it aside on a dotted line. I'm slowly breaking and oh, my body's shaking. Cause someone drive a hearse out of the line. Somebody save me and oh, I'm pleading, baby. But you're out of my league, I'm a mascot. Does she love me or does she love me not? Every day's he pulled apart. Does she love me or does she love me not? I sold my soul for the part. Here we go one more time. For the people in the back. One more cry for the night. So let's try to make it last. Here is my heart now decide to cut it aside on a dotted line. Here we go one more time. For the people in the back. One more cry for the night. So let's try to make it last. Here is my heart now decide to cut it aside on a dotted line. You're my favorite fatal attraction. So kiss me slowly and close the casket. You're my favorite fatal attraction. So kiss me slowly and close the casket. Here we go one more time. For the people in the back. One more cry for the night. So let's try to make it last. Here is my heart now decide to cut it aside on a dotted line. Here we go one more time. For the people in the back. One more cry for the night. So let's try to make it last. Here is my heart now decide to cut it aside on a dotted line. You're my favorite fatal attraction. So kiss me slowly and close the casket. You're my favorite fatal attraction. So kiss me slowly and close the casket. When I'm thinking of her, I'm colored outside the lines. Every shade of blue through my room, right before her eyes. Can't you see I'm bleeding? You see it in black and white. Anybody tell me just why? She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. I hear whispering about some new guy, and I'm screaming, just trying to give you love. Every word's just ripping me open. I could've gave you so much. When I'm thinking of her, I'm colored outside the lines. Every shade of blue through my room, right before her eyes. Can't you see I'm bleeding? You see it in black and white. Anybody tell me just why? She's so colorblind, colorblind. She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. Standing here on fire for you. Standing there, you say, does anyone smell smoke? Standing here, I'm crying for you, dying, losing no heart. When I'm thinking white. Anybody tell me just why she's so colorblind, colorblind. She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. She's so colorblind, colorblind, colorblind. Standing here on fire for you. Standing there, you say, doesn't anyone smell smoke? Standing here, I'm crying for you, trying, losing all hope. How do you sleep at night? We buried the hatchet right into my back, and look what you've done. The last one is laughing, the last one is standing, is the one with the gun. And I thought you were different, but you kept a knife hidden in your silver tongue. You buried the hatchet right into my back, and now I'm slowly building up a throne from all the sticks and stones that you have thrown. But all your words still haunt me like a ghost, yeah. How do you sleep at night, night, night? You made your bed and lie. 'Cause you cut me cursive on where everyone, baby, look what you've done. Oh, how do you sleep at night, night, night?
Literally, he puts it in. 0 seconds remaining.
He seems to be fighting hard for it.
Oh my goodness, Rudy, what is this?
Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Kato, Scott, oh, he gets the flick and he gets it through. Place this he's gonna get the shot. He's gonna put it in. Back to back.
On the backward, can he find the touch? He's gonna put the shot on.
High off the backboard here. Opportunity. Here comes the shot.
Is this serious? Hold on. Surely this can't. Oh my lord!
Go with the shot. It's gonna go in.
Oh, Copenhagen on the goal line. He did not win. Nearly over. Sweep. It comes through. The Venom, the improbable, the impossible, the 4-time champions. All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our last matchup of the night here as we're into week 3. I'm Rockerman back in the booth, joined by the one and only Dronis. Dronis, I know we've had some banger matchups tonight. How are you? How you doing? How have things been going?
Things have been great. I mean, we have seen two teams back to back now get their first wins of season 12, which is always huge to see. And now going into this next one, we move into the Challenger League. It should be another fun one.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a good one. This is actually gonna be our first divisional matchup of the season here on Nemesis. Last 2 matches we had Novice and we had Titan, who had the bye weeks. They also don't have divisions this season with only 8 teams. So this is gonna be the first divisional matchup, Dronis. And these matches just mean more. You play these teams twice per season. You know both these teams, Dissolved and Drakes, want to start out on the right foot against a divisional opponent.
Yeah, and Drake's, I mean, they're off to a hotter start, sitting at 3-1, pretty confident 3-1 at that. Dissolved on, the just same thing but flip. They're 1-3 to start. Now going head to head, Drake's, they're the favorite on paper. We'll see if that sticks out or if Dissolved are able to get themselves a big win.
Yeah, it would be a big win here. Just because it's your 1-3 here at the start of the season, division is kind of the time where you can turn things around. Right on this match number 5 here, trying to turn things around in the season, get a good win on the board. And yeah, for Dissolve's sake, we'll see if they're going to be able to do so, and they're going to be primed and ready to go. And it looks like we are also primed and ready to go in the lobby here, as we have both teams here, Dissolved and Drakes, ready to lock and load. Dronis, who do you got in this matchup? You lean in any way between these two teams?
I mean, I am leaning towards Drake simply because of the history. All-time Drakes lead 15-8 over Dissolved, and also just looking at their starts to the season, I would have to go the way of them. But I am open to being surprised here.
I would love to be surprised as well, and let's see what kind of surprises these two teams have in store for us here as we are officially underway here in the Challenger League. We have Dissolved in the red here, and they are going to start it off. Don't even get to introduce them. JP is making a grand entrance.
I mean, ultimately a great catch here, and the defense just in shambles, takes it low and slow, and that's a great take.
Yeah, that's a great take by JP, and he is definitely going to be one to watch out for on this Dissolve squad with Moxon, Lilist. Is it Liliest? I think we'll go. Lilist maybe in this one. We got JP, Lilist, Moxon, and the Drakes with Bondo, Bonkalicious, and Peanut on this one. And here comes Lilius, gonna throw it in the back of the net and Dissolved, wasting no time up two.
Yeah, ultimately that is just a great bounce off the corner. Peanut couldn't reach it, Bonkalicious couldn't reach it, and the shot perfectly placed left side and Dissolved. I mean, they're not looking like a 1-3 team here to open up game one.
Yeah, no, and on paper, they didn't look too bad here. JP, a solid player, and we've seen Moxon many seasons here, was on that Venom team that won the championship last season. Wasn't starting, but he was definitely a big component in that Venom squad. So I'm a little surprised about Dissolved being 1-3 to start the season. But again, like we mentioned, there's so many opportunities here to bring it back. Is this one being turned back around? JP trying to fire it on net, but denied away yet again here as Dissolved. They're going to be the ones starting out with the pressure, popping this one up. Lilius trying to drop it down. JP putting it out in the middle. Moxon going to dive through, but Bonkalicious going to take it by one. Looking to take it by the last. Going to flick it high off the crossbar. Moxon is going to get back. That was a great opportunity there, Dronus, but Drake's unable to capitalize.
And that was actually the first opportunity of the game as well as Drake's, that being their first shot log. Meanwhile, Dissolved, they already got 5. They have had heaps of offensive pressure early. Drake's getting a couple looks here, but still looking to put that first one away.
Trying to find it here as Lilius going to pop things across. Moxon looking to take that one out. Going to actually drop down. Bondo going to pop this one up by. Here comes Peanut looking to send it in. A demo on the backside could open up some space here as the GM is firing it towards the net, but Moxon is going to make a touch there, sending it back. Bonkalicious trying to get to that one, but instead the ball just going to remain in the corner here. If you stay locked, Drake's going to try to take it back to their own zone. Lilius trying to get up to that one. Not quite going to find it though, as Peanut able to send it back across. JP popping it in the midfield, and we saw those 2 quick goals there, Dronus, from Dissolved, and now Drake seemed like they've found a little bit of relief here.
Yeah, they're definitely looking a little bit more settled after those first 30 seconds. Unfortunately, sometimes those first 30 seconds can be the most dangerous, and now they're obviously trying to get their offense going, but it's easier said than done. As Dissolved, they still look very locked in and are still keeping lots of pressure up on the offensive side. Another shot here will be stopped.
Yeah, Dissolve still keeping that offense on, trying to make a statement here. We talked about it. Obviously, some nerves to be had here on stream for both these two teams and a divisional matchup. You want to win these ones. It's a great pass in the midfield, but they can't quite finish it off. JP found the demo, found the pass, but not quite able to send that one in the back. And then that could have been 3 as, oh my goodness, all the Drakes have jumped up here. Dissolve has a great opportunity for a counterattack. Lilius throwing up to Moxon, trying to throw it to the backboard. Can they find the capitalization? Peanut is going to deny it away. And we saw a little bit of chaos right there.
Yeah, that was... It looked like the polar opposite in rotations. You saw a triple come in the corner from Drake's, and then the 1-2-3 passing play upfield from Dissolved. Weren't able to turn it in as this one bounces off the bar. The Drake's still looking to break through.
Minute 30 down the Drakes. They found an opportunity there, but the post are not going to be kind to them right now, as they're going to look to try to send this one back. Lilius can't quite find that touch. Moxon going to look for that one. Can't quite connect though. JP going to send it back down. Peanut looking to give control here. Going to find it as JP finds another demo on the pitch there. That ball floating. Peanut able to send it out into that corner. Touch not quite going to come through. Bondo popping it up. Bonk is trying to get up to it. Bonk, send it, and it's going to bonk off the crossbar there. A tough one right there for Bonk, as Drakes are still fighting for that first goal. Now only a minute remaining, trying to find 2.
Yeah, and that crossbar on the Dissolve side, I think it's going to be a little bit dented Rocker Man, as we have seen multiple hit that same spot. Drake's, you know, I mean, it's always tough to see, and it's also always going to be a little bit heartbreaking to hear that sound, watch it bounce down away, especially when you're just hunting for that first one.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll have to get the repair crew out after this game, fix that crossbar, and 30 seconds remaining here. The Drakes still trying to find that first one on the board. Dissolve doing good to keep this pressure going. As right here looking for another shot, JP sending it towards the net. Lilius gonna find a demo on the wall, looking to send it back up, trying to find another one. Ball dropping down, Peanut gonna bang it. Dissolve just kind of have to hold here for the last couple seconds. Is Bonk trying to find a demo. JP, he's just gonna send it out wide, and as this one drops in the corner here, that is gonna wrap things up for game number 1. Dissolve with 2 quick early goals, and then able to park the bus and take the win.
I mean, ultimately, they didn't need to do much after they found their first 2. JP, you know, being a part of both them, obviously getting that offense going early, but Drake's their own offense, it needs to find some way to find their footing. I mean, they had 5 shots, obviously started slow, but still need to try and turn them in a, you know, a little bit of bad luck. Of course, that crossbar standing in the way of a couple of goals that may have been able to tie it up, but ultimately, you got to be able to figure that offense out.
Yeah, and you'd expect them to be able to do so, as not a high scoring game from Drake's at all for all 3 of those players. Looking to try to bring it back in game 2, and sometimes, the game 1 is always that feeler game here. And for the Drakes, you have to see if they can start out quick with an early goal here. But it looks like possession is going to go towards Dissolve's end to start things off, as Drake's trying to get it out. A block is going to come through. And something to note here, Dronis, we didn't really get to talk about it too much here, but I feel like the Drakes, it needs to be noted here that they're missing a big player in Mattias Maximus, who hadn't really seen in Nemesis before, as, that one is close on the goal line. Mattias Maximus, he is 5th in player rating in Nemesis. There's a rule 1 in the net, and Peanut is going to come through, put it in, and Drake's going to find their first goal of the series.
Yeah, that is a big player to lose, but when you need that, when you can just have Bonk lock Moxon into a Rule 1 in front of the net, you got to give respect as well to Moxon for not breaking it, even though that ball softly floated in front of his own net. He respected it till the end, and Drakes will find their first goal of the series.
Yeah, they are going to find it in a little bit of a crazy way there with that Rule 1, and they're looking to find another one here off the backboard, looking for a follow. Not going to have it. But yeah, Mattias Maximus not here tonight for this matchup, so big shoes to fill for Peanut, but Peanut has been around in Nemesis for multiple seasons as well, so mostly in the Prospect League. Now trying to step up in the Challenger League, see what they can do. This one sent off to the corner. Ball going to go by one. Peanut looking to give chase to it, trying to turn it, looking to send it towards the net, trying to low 50, but not quite going to be able to get that one through. Bondo trying to drop it down. Ball is floating, but just going to be sent to the corner. It's JP going to push it down. Bonk going to try to find something there. Not going to be able to do so as this one pops up high. Mox up with a big opportunity. Going to find a big 50 through. Peanut has to race up, be able to get that one away. There's Lilius waiting, looking to try to find it down, but a big mistouch going to force JP back there into a save, as this one pass out of the midfield, looking to shoot it towards the net, but Lilius going to save it away. And finally, the Drakes, what we didn't see in that game 1 is they're finding each other on the pass. He plays as JP. That one just going to float over his head.
Yeah, it was a bit awkward here from JP. I mean, Bonk doing a good job from the midfield, keeping that pressure up, and you can just see JP reversing, and then I think he just realized too late that it was already over, as Drakes will pick up that lead. But I agree with you completely. We are really seeing the offense, and ultimately it feels like the confidence from Drakes on the offensive side really stepping up big time. We saw almost none of it in that first game, and now it's a completely different look, almost going up 3-0 now.
Yeah, that one was a big opportunity. Unable to put it through as JP race back, but here comes Peanut, going to send it in from a long ways away, his second of the game.
And just a great bit of pressure. Bondo immediately finding Peanut's middle, and there's just no one back. Both players left for Dissolve. Both went for boost towards the sidewall and just left the lane wide open.
Yeah, and the boost, I know you talked about it in the last match, Jonas. It's very shiny, and it's very, yeah. it's very pick upable. But, sometimes, that ball, it might need to take a little priority there. And for Dissolved, didn't quite do it that time, as now they're going to find themselves in a 3-0 hole here in game number 2, as Ilias trying to find this one, going to drop up high off the backward. Moxon looking to find that read, but tough one to have speed for is Moxon. He's going to find a demo. Peanut going to push this one up high. Bondo going to send this one down. Moxon push it off the backboard. This one popped up high. Another opportunity looking to send it off the backboard. But JP, he's all over that one. Able to send it down. It's just Bondo back there. Got to make a touch. He's going to find one. But JP, he's pushing it right back as the Drakes. Going to make another save here. And it's Dissolved a little bit awkward there. Trying to get it in. This is almost the reverse of the beginning of game 1 here, Dronis, as Dissolved only 1 shot to their name right now.
Yeah, compared to the 10 from Drakes, and make that 11 as Bondo gonna roll this one in from Peanut, who has been a part of all 4 goals now for Drakes. He said he's got some big shoes to fill, and he indeed is stepping up to the task. And yeah, this being just a polar opposite difference from game number 1. And I think the real telling thing now is, obviously, I think the Drakes are gonna be able to close out this game. Going into game 3, we don't really know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really know what to expect here. I mean, Dissolved, they kind of dominated the offense early and then just kind of held on. And then game 2 here so far, the Drakes, they have been all over the offense, just controlling the pace here. And it's going to be very important in game number 3. But we still got some time left in this one. And Dissolved trying to say it's not over here. And it is definitely not, as they find their first with 1:27 left.
Yeah, and just a miss there from Peanut. JP sends it far side, and Lalias, as Sandsbar believes it's pronounced. I don't know how trustworthy Sands is, but
I don't know about that guy. I don't know about that guy.
I don't know if I trust that guy all too much, but we will stick with Lalias as they're looking for another. This one saved away by Bonk.
Yeah, Bonk gonna send that one away, and yeah, Dissolved able to find that one though. With still some time left. 3 goals is a lot to try to come back from in 1 minute, but way more doable than 4 here. As JP gonna find it, looking to just send it towards the net. It's gonna drop out of the midfield, and here comes Moxon, who's gonna put it in, and all of a sudden, it's a 2-goal deficit.
And this just getting a little bit dangerous now for the Drakes. Can't get too overconfident here, as you know, you concede 1, that's fine. You concede 2, that lead's starting to close up.
Yeah, the lead is starting to shrink a little bit, but the Drakes, they still have some breathing room here. As JP gonna pick up a savior medal, looking to take control, gonna try to flick it over, but Peanut getting up in the way there as Moxon sends it back down. Bonk gonna take control, grabs that back boost, gonna jump up. Elias can't get it, but a double commit comes through. Bonk just trying to take it all the way down, and he does, sending that one in the back of the net.
Yeah, and just a great carry here. Elias and JP both went, and both had no chance.
Yeah, that one, a little bit of miscommunication, but it might not even matter. Like you mentioned, Bonk just had the dribble and able to take it all the way down. A great acquisition here after the 4-match hold. People were looking at Mr. Bonk, and it so happens that the Drakes were able to pick him up here as a big bump comes through, and the shot is gonna be perfect. Peanut with the hat trick off of the big bump.
Yeah, and Bonk doing a great job lobbing that one up, finding the bump on Mox, and JP just tried to do his best to find any sort of contact, but Peanut has really stood out here in game number 2.
Yeah, and I mean, right as we mentioned the absence of Mattias, Peanut says, who cares about that guy? I can play 2 here, and play he has as Lalias there, gonna send it up, a great pass. Oh my goodness, Lalias with the flip reset, and JP gonna put it in.
Yeah, seeing 2 great goals back to back, one from either side, the flip reset pass, and JP far post side able to thread the needle through the rest of the defense. And although a great goal there, just a bit too little too late.
Yeah, it might be a little bit too late there, but still some momentum perhaps here, as we're going to be heading into the final seconds of game 2, looking towards that game 3. Drakes looking to try to style a little bit, knowing they've got this one in the bag, as JP is hunting Bondo. A shot, gonna go off the crossbar. Bonk gonna find a touch, and it's not even gonna be able to find the back of the net. The 3-on-1 denied, and the Drakes gonna tie this series up in 1 apiece.
Yeah, and Peanut with, again, just a star-studded game there in game number 2. Hoping to see that kind of performance stick from Peanut. It is going to be tough, but ultimately getting a hat trick on 7 shots, assisting 2 others as well, picking up a save. That being a stellar performance, and Drake's going from getting shut out in the first game to putting up 6 there in game 2. That's an insane turnaround.
Yeah, that's an offensive explosion right there by the Drakes, really finding their footing in that game, finding the passing plays, finding the offensive pressure. I think they kind of held their own, towards the end of that game number 1. And it just kind of tumbled over there, Jonas, into that game number 2, where they were able to just pelt on the shots here. And now into game 3, Jonas, I know we touched on it a little bit during the last game. We don't know where this one's gonna go, but what do you want to see from both sides? Well, let me hold that thought for a second. Is Pondo? I mean, that's what we want to see on the Drake side.
Yeah, I want to see that offense keep going, and JP just a big mistouch there, and Bondo immediately all over it. First 4 seconds, and Drake's keeping up the offense.
Yeah, they really are, and I guess we'll go with that key for them, for the Drakes. If they can keep that offense going, Dissolved is not really going to have much to do. But Jonas, I am curious about your thoughts on Dissolved here. What do you need to see from them here in this game 3 to try to take this series lead?
I mean, ultimately, we need to see their defense settle down. I think that's all going to start from the midfield a little bit more. Got to stay a little bit quicker. I think we're seeing Dissolve kind of play a little bit too far back at times, play a little bit too far up at times. That's allowing Drakes to really get momentum going into that offensive pressure. And you can see now just living in the offensive half, trying to break through. Lelias has a chance here, but the flick not going much of anywhere, and as soon as it gets back out to the midfield, it feels like that's where Drakes are stronger right now.
Yeah, the Drakes, they definitely seem to have that control in that midfield. They seem to have a lot more control of the boost in these last game and a couple minutes of this one. Fired off the backboard. Elias not going to be able to get there, but JP with that last-ditch effort save. What a play by JP. And Elias trying to send it down there, but it's not going to go on target. But Elias coming back from the corner. What a play right there. Able to answer that one.
A beauty of a pre-flip touch upfield. Bondo put it off target, but Lelias stealing boost, staying in the play, ties it up.
Yeah, deserved right there after that pre-flip. That was crazy. That one almost found the back of the net, and Lelias had to make sure they finish off the play right there, and Dissolved able to get back in this one now. A 1-1 ball game here in game number 3 as JP is looking for Peanut. Nice turnaround here. Bonk gonna send it off the backboard. JP trying to get up to it. A great touch by JP. Not a lot of boost, but still able to send that one away. This one pushed down Moxon. Gonna bang it out. Bonk and Peanut both gonna collide on this one. Moxon chasing down, gonna snag that boost. Gonna try to snag the ball too. This one gonna be pushed back in. Elias gonna send it back down here. The Drakes trying to make their way out of their zone. Bonk gonna take this one up high over the top of JP. What is Bonk have? Might have a flip here. Gonna try to send it in. Oh my goodness, Bonkalicious.
Yeah, and just what a play here. Got it around JP, got the reset, and that last touch, absolute perfection, top shelf, and Dissolve. They just had no chance.
Yeah, what are you gonna do right there? Bonk on the ball, had the flip reset, and yeah, played it perfectly. Able to get that power off the reset, able to send it in. The Drakes right back on top, but not for long as Moxon comes through, forcing out an own goal.
Yeah, and this just being a little bit more of that nitty-gritty play, and ultimately Bondo and Peanut just really couldn't stabilize next to each other. JP was able to create that space, and Moxon punished.
Moxon, like you mentioned, he's one of those veterans of Nemesis as well, so you give him opportunities, more often than not, he's going to find them. He's able to find that one there, bringing his team back to a tied ball game, really trying to take this next game. Moxon is up there, and he's going to find the shot again. JP sets him up, and Moxon sets it in.
Yeah, and that's just a great way to thread the needle as well. Knew Bondo had low boost and just perfectly put it around that front bumper far post side to claim the lead from Dissolved. What a swing from the team in red.
Yeah, Dissolved. I mean, they just brought this one back. It seemed like And with with the first couple seconds there, I thought it could have easily been a wash right there. Drake's gonna continue their momentum all the way. Oh, they're still trying to do so as dissolved way too awkward on the sidewall, and Bonk gonna tie it right back up.
Yeah, Elias just lost control, was not expecting that little bounce when it came down off the sidewall, immediately kind of hopped over onto his hood, could not stabilize, and that'll add another one for Drakes, and we're back to all tied up.
Yeah, this game going back and forth. I mean, we really didn't know what to expect, and these two teams are giving us the back and forth showing that we love to see for the content here. As it's 3-3, still just under halfway to play in this game, so a lot of Rock League to be determined. Who will put themselves on match point in the first divisional matchup? Moxon hoping it's gonna be dissolved here, but Bonk gonna take control, trying to find another 50, gonna go through one. It's sent up high, looking maybe for the demo there. Can't quite find it. Elias gonna dodge it for the moment. JP to Elias, trying to send it back out to JP. He's putting it up there, trying to send it down there. A nice light touch for Peanut. Good backboard defense, able to keep that one away. This one sent back down. Moxon gonna look to give chase in the corner. Bondo thinking about it. That boost gonna be snagged. Moxon actually gonna go by two here. Not a lot of boost. Might be looking for the bump there. JP trying to fire it. Here comes Elias trying to get to a Peanut. A great save on the goal line there. A big opportunity for dissolved, but not quite able to break through right there.
Yeah, and just really keeping up that pressure either which way, a little bit dangerous here as more shots steaming through, and again the back and forth has just been insane here in this third game between both these teams. I mean, in the first two games we saw kind of each team running the floor, now we're seeing it go back and forth, and Moxon will put Dissolved back out in front.
Moxon with the Hattie here, able to take it over the top of Bonkalicious and take it all the way through, right past Peanut. What a play by Moxon, really trying to urge his team here in Dissolved to take this game 3 victory, put themselves on match point, heading into Forbidden Temple. A big play by them, and now the minute 5 remaining, the Drakes gotta be the ones to come back on offense, and it's who else but Peanut gonna send it in, and we're tied once more.
And Dissolve, you can just see the hesitation here. No one jumped early enough. Moxon was on the backboard with no boost. JP was waiting in net with full, but no one attacked that ball out front and allowed Peanut to just take advantage through the middle. And now with a minute left, we're just tied up again.
Yeah, and it feels like no lead is safe here. One team gets the lead, puts a goal in, and all of a sudden the other team just comes back with a vengeance. And Drakes, they were to be the ones with the vengeance right there, able to tie things up at 4-piece. Both these teams understanding the importance of this game 3, trying to take that lead here in the series, put themselves one win away from taking a series W. As JP now gonna send it down. Final 30 seconds of regulation. That ball gonna pop up, a big miss from Peanut, but the demo was gonna open up some space. Elias trying to get to it. This one gonna drop down. Bonk able to block it out of the midfield. Ball again floating. JP gonna be first to it. Actually gonna get around Peanut, trying to look for another 50. This one out of the midfield. Elias gonna take it back to the corner here. Final seconds of regulation. We see some overtime here. Elias looking to send it out, pushing it towards the midfield. Ball gonna pop up here. 50 gonna come down, and overtime we have here the first one of the series, Dronas.
Yeah, and I mean, what a better game than Game 3 when it's as close and as tense as this is in the back and forth. Now, just going to be decided by one more goal.
Yeah, one more goal to end it here. Who will take the lead here? A big demo. Peanut looking to send it down, pushing it towards the net. Doesn't have the boost to follow. JP gonna pick that one up again off the backboard. Moxon able to send it down. A ball popping up. Moxon looking to send it towards the net of Peanut. He's gonna pick up a savior medal as JP firing it right back towards the midfield. Elias trying to get a little bit of a redirect there, but this one could be very dangerous. Dissolved is going to have to race back. This one floating towards the net, but a big bump. Oh my goodness. The bump on the backside, and Bonkalicious ends it.
My goodness, Bondo, that is just not nice. Lead blocker, and JP sent to the moon off of that bump. And Drakes, after conceding the first game, back-to-back victories, and now they're on match point, and they got to be feeling very confident.
Oh, you got to be feeling very confident after that one. I mean, taking a close win like that, Dronas, obviously a lot of effort going into that game by both teams, understanding the importance And now the pressure is squarely on Dissolve to come out here in game 4. And how do you respond here after a close loss?
I mean, I think they got to try and get started early. I mean, get that offense going right from the get go. Try and put Drake's on the back foot inside the first minute here and try and take control. If they lose control, if that mental gets behind them, things could spiral very quickly. We saw it in that last game.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams really have that pop-off potential. They have the opportunity to just, put on some goal explosions here. And now heading to Forbidden Temple. Series has already been a little chaotic, but what can we find here on this great map? This one popping up high off the backboard. Bondo sets it up, and this one could be fired across a big demo. Gonna smoke screen things out there as the ball's still up here, and Peanut is gonna come through with the angle, and he's having himself a series.
Yeah, if you told me coming into this one that Peanut was a sub, I would not believe you, as being able to take advantage of that mistouch from JP. I mean, that is just picture perfect, top shelf. No one could make the save.
Yeah, no, Peanut is definitely looking like a very high quality Challenger player here, Challenger League player here, as he's able to find another one in the back of the net. And, well, it's going to be Drakes who are going to take the early lead, and Dissolved going to be on the back foot, going to have to try to find their way through this one. As the Elias send this one up high, but Peanut, he's coming through again off the right side. Another goal for him into the back of the net.
And ultimately, they just can't seem to break free, and Elias just no boost left. Moxon no boost as well, and we're just seeing some great shooting from Peanut, being able to take advantage of these favorable looks. And it said Dissolve need to get started quick, and ultimately it's Drake's getting started early here in the first minute.
Yeah, pretty much the exact opposite of what you wanted to see if you're Dissolved here, unfortunately for them. But oh my goodness, Elias! That is what you love to see.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great way to get it right back and to cut the lead in half. JP lobbed it downfield, and Elias takes full advantage, punching that one through, and Dissolve trying to get it right back.
Yeah, I mean, what a shot there. Elias able to send it in and stop the bleeding. And yeah, that's what you need to see after you're dropping down 2, in under a minute. Fire one right back. Elias able to keep it. A 1-goal margin is a big miss. Moxon gonna come through and clean it up though. Able to send it down the ball, going towards the net, double commit. Comes through from the Drakes. Elias looking to keep it around the corner, trying to find another 50. As a demo comes through, Moxon can be wiped off the pitch there. This one's sent back, but here comes Moxon now. Send this one in. JP looking for a little touch. Gonna send it up high. Bonk and Bondo there on the wall. Elias, not a lot of boost, looking for a teammate there, but a little bit off on the passing play, but had the right idea. As this one popped up, gonna be blocked off the backboard there. JP looking to take it down. The net is wide open. He's gonna take it all the way. And what happened there, Dronis? The Drakes just nowhere to be found.
Yeah, ultimately it was Bonk who dove in as third, and JP just slid it right by him, was able to drive that one all the way through, just walk the dog home to make it 2-2, and Drake's just got a little overexcited.
Yeah, definitely a little overexcited there, trying to end it off. And, sometimes that happens there, Dronis, is, you have the opportunity, you're trying to end the series here by putting the pressure on, and you can just get yourself a little bit over aggressive.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, when it's in a series as tense as this, obviously, it's this first kind of matchup, and you're obviously seeing the back and forth it can create, and that can get nerves, especially being on stream as well. And sometimes those mistakes can happen, those mental oversights. You might go for some shots you might not usually go for, and those rotations can get messed up a little bit. But it's, the best teams are going to be able to stabilize through that pressure and really step up to the challenge.
Yeah, they definitely will, as, oh my goodness, that one almost gonna find a follow from Elias. And you mentioned it, but the pressure is most definitely on here for both these two teams. Dissolve looking to force this game 5. The Drakes looking to close it out here, find that divisional win. This one up, Bondo to the backboard, trying to find it. Moxon gonna clear it across. Elias gonna take that one, gonna pick up a boost, gonna put it through another one. Peanut, last man back there, gonna be up to the task, able to send it away. Is Peanut now, again, taking it out, looking to send it back. Moxon and Elias gonna be there, gonna pick up the savior medal, able to clear it away. A nice save here, and a minute 50 remaining here. Dissolved, still looking to find that pressure here. Drake's trying to send it back, and again, Drones dissolved. Got to be the ones here finding the pressure, but that one, oh no, a big miss. Here comes Peanut trying to find it, but a save comes through. The Drakes had a wide open opportunity, but couldn't place it in.
Yeah, Bonk unfortunately just needed to put that one away as it would have given the lead. Now swift turn on this shot off target, but Drakes, they're going to be looking to get it right back.
Drake's looking to give it right back as both teams there with opportunities, but cannot convert, and that's pretty much the moral of this series here. As this one, a dangerous ball, but Peanut, a great read, able to get a redirect, and Bondo able to get back as well. Great defense here by the Drakes in the last little bit here. They're able to hunt down that backboard, not let anything up in the midfield, but still only find themselves in a tied ball game. JP gonna find one, Moxon off the corner. JP looking to pop it up, trying to find a flip reset, can't quite get it. Bonk sends it out, ball up in the midfield. Bondo pushing it down, Bonk off the sidewall. 50 gonna come through here. Moxon now taking it up, trying to find it. This one dropping through. Bonk looking to take control here in the midfield. Both these teams maybe looking for one or two final strikes here in regulation. This one off the corner, ball popping up. JP has an opportunity. The net was open. He's just off a big demo. Here comes JP off the backboard, but no, it's going to be saved away. A huge opportunity as this one on the counterattack. Bonk is going to send it in, and so close for dissolve, but the Drakes trying to end it.
Yeah, that was such a huge chance, just narrowly missing. Then Bonk driving in front of Elias just to slow them down, and then getting credit for the final shot there. 18 seconds. There's still a chance for dissolve, but they got to move quick.
Yeah, they're going to have to move quick there. And that one, 50 down in the midfield. Oh my goodness, the net was wide open there, but not quite going to finish. It's actually going to give Dissolve another chance. JP, he's just banging it. Oh my goodness, he sends it in to tie it up.
And the back and forth continues, Rockerman. Moxon got a good 50, and then Elias reaching upfield, and there was just no one back in time for the Drakes. A great counter there to tie it up. Another overtime looming.
It's looming, but the Drakes, they may have one more answer to it. Bonk trying to get it. That one actually going to stay up somehow. And this one pushed off the corner, but Dissolved just going to send it to the ground. And back-to-back overtimes, Drones. These two teams not trying to give up.
Yeah, Drake's trying to end it right now with one more goal, but Dissolve, they have stayed so present in this game. They have not backed down. They got to try and take it. Moxon had a look, fired it wide.
Yeah, that one was an opportunity here for Dissolve as they're going to start the overtime on the aggression here. This one popping up, but this one sent down to Elias versus Peanut. And Elias able to get that one in the corner. Bondo dropping it down. Bonk. This one out of the midfield. Bonk. He's turning around. It's floating, but JP on the goal line. Oh my goodness, JP, what a save. He gets that one away, and now on the counterattack, Moxon looking to send it down, but that one, Strodus, so dangerous there. But again, it Dissolved, able to hold on as the Drake's trying to put some pressure through.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful save on the goal line. It looked like it might just fall through. Now this one, another close look from Peanut. Dissolve, they need to be very careful on the defensive side. Maybe a turnaround on offense here. No, shut down early, and again, it just continues to be a back and forth and then a midfield battle.
Yeah, this is what you love to see from divisional rivals here, going toe-to-toe here. As Bondo trying to send it out, trying to lead his team here. As the GM, he's going to send it over the top, but Elias able to get back on the defensive end. Bonk now setting it up, looking for one more, trying to take out Moxon through the air there, but not going to find it. This one in the corner, Moxon. It's going to end up getting around 150, trying to come through. Bonk is going to get it by as Elias sends it back in. Peanut holding it down. Elias looking to take it across, trying to pop it up. This one going to go by one, but here comes a shooter. It's blocked, and he sends it in, and he's going to send us to game 5.
And that is a laser top left. Got the opportunity from the midfield, and he did not miss.
Yeah, he definitely did not. He knew exactly where to place it, and he sent that bad boy in, sending us to a game 5. You love to see it here. And what better way to end the stream off, Drones, than divisional rivals going for the win here, heading to game 5 in just such a back and forth series.
Yeah, and it's going to be incredible to see these teams cross paths again later on, but this is a huge matchup, and I'm excited to see how it develops. Obviously, in this fifth game, but obviously down the line later on the season when we see the rematch. Obviously, we already got the history right here.
Yeah, the history is being made right here, right now between these two teams, and just a lot of pressure on both of them here. The Drakes trying to extend their record here. Dissolved really need a big win here to keep things close in their division, have a chance to win that division. Obviously, division securing a berth straight to the playoffs. So both these teams gonna be fighting hard here as we are into it. Game number 5 here between these two teams. Such a back and forth series. Dronis, what are you watching for as we get into this one?
I mean, I'm looking to see Drakes. I want to see their defense step up a little bit more. They actually only had 1 save that entire last game, and obviously that cannot be the case in close matches like this. The defense got to be able to step up, but ultimately Dissolved, they're looking to stick it out. They're looking to keep that shooting up, and Moxon, who has been able to put some great shots away in clutch opportunities, we'll see if he's able to keep that pace.
Moxon, he's up right here, looking to send it back in here. Bonk can't quite find that touch ball out in the midfield. Peanut looking to get it around 1, does so. Bondo coming through, looking to find a 50. Bonk is lurking in that corner there, coming up high, off the ceiling, trying to find that touch, but not quite going to connect here. Is Peanut trying to drop it down. Bonk going to circle back to that one. He's able to get a 50 through here. As this one, obviously a very important first goal here. I'm always a proponent, Dronis, of that game 5. Whenever I'm in a game 5 situation, I'm always telling my team and in my head, I want that first goal for the momentum.
Yeah, it very well can kind of make or break that early pressure, that early confidence. But in this matchup, we have seen a lot of back and forth so far. I don't think it weighs as heavily, but if you're the team to find that first one, you're going to be feeling like you're in the driver's seat.
So, as we're still at a 0-0 game, but maybe not for long. This one off the backboard, the follow-up gonna come through. Pondo perfectly placed around the defense, and the Drake strike first.
Yeah, and it took a little bit longer for this one to get started here on Champions Field. Almost 2 minutes of play, but it is the Drakes who get their offense going, and Dissolved, we'll see how they answer back.
Yeah, they've had a lot of answers in this series. Can they find one here? JP saw the big answer in game number 4 from him to even get us to this point. When it seemed like hope was lost, they were able to find that long shot and then the winner in OT. But a big demo going to come through, trading of the demos. But Elias going to send it down. Can Peanut get back in time? Yes. Peanut with that spawn able to be there, able to get the defense. This one sent up high. Bondo trying to get to it, but instead going to be pushed to the corner. Moxon going to send this one up high. Peanut off the ceiling. Elias trying to get up this one, but may have gotten caught. This one heading all the way down, but it's going to ring off the post there. The Drakes almost had an opportunity and Dissolved here. Going to be counting their lucky stars, Dronis.
That's another snapshot from Peanut, and the bump clears the path, but there's no one close as second and Dissolved, maybe getting away with another one, but ultimately we're seeing some great pressure on the side of Drakes. Elias a chance down to Moxon, the give and go, no good.
Oh my goodness, and that Dissolved really finding those passing plays too. Almost a highlight reel play right there as they're trying to tie it up here in a game 5. This one gonna pop up high. Moxon gonna send this one down, looking for Elias, who's there harassing the ball, dropping down. It's gonna be pinched away. JP couldn't quite get to that angle. The ball just a little bit wide, but Moxon still gonna find that demo. Bonk trying to get up to it, but Dissolved gonna send it back in. Still hunting for the goal here. Still plenty of time for them to do so. We gotta start making something happen here as this one fired off the backboard. And he sent out JP, looking to bang it down. Elias trying to take out Bonk there through the air. As this one, Moxon just gonna drive by it. Maybe worked out as a fake there, but still a minute 30 now. Dronis and Dissolved, they seem like they have a couple opportunities. They seem like they're going for these lurking plays here, and it seems like they're only a moment away from putting one through.
Yeah, they're getting closer and closer to finally kind of breaking the ice here in game number 5, but credit to Drakes. They have done well suppressing a lot of attacks before they really develop, and ultimately not giving Dissolved a lot of time to really gather possession or gather an offensive slate, because they've just been kind of shutting them down early time and time again.
Yeah, they shut him down earlier, and you mentioned their saves in the last game, only one, but they've gotten 4 already here, shutting down this dissolved offense. We'll see if they can continue to do so as they're up in the lead here. Final 45 seconds, this ball popped up. Bondo gonna push it to the side, dissolved. Gonna have to start forcing things a little bit here as the time is now their enemy. This one sent back into Dissolve's corner. JP gonna look to take control, looking to take this one up high, trying to send it over Peanut, but just enough to get that touch to send it away. This one back in the midfield, Dissolve looking to try to give control, but they're gonna actually give it away. Peanut looking for the shot there. It's gonna go off the post, but a big touch is gonna come through, and now we're looking at last opportunities here as JP trying to take it underneath. Gonna pass it down to the midfield, but Moxon, he can't quite put it in, as that one was a big chance here. And now Dissolved gonna have to regroup, try to find one more here in game 5. Bonkalicious trying to send it down. Control. All 3 Dissolved members are on this ball. Can they keep it up here? They're gonna have to take it the length of the pitch. Elias gonna send it down. JP trying to get to a Peanut, can't touch, and that's gonna do it. The Drakes are gonna survive in a game 5 thriller.
Yeah, it was a nail biting one for sure, but Drakes will pick up the victory. They will advance to 4-1, picking up the first divisional win, but it was not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it was not easy. I mean, my goodness, those 2 teams gave us a show right there, battling, and the Drakes gonna just be enough to take out the win there. So big congratulations to them taking home that victory. But what a crazy way to end the stream, the first night of divisional matchups there, Drones. I mean, Dissolve, they didn't quite get the win, but I mean, there is definitely some promise to them right there, able to take it to game 5, just 1 goal away from maybe making some magic happen.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Now you look at their record; they're 1-4. I don't think that accurately reflects how good this team can be. I think the ceiling is a little bit higher. There's just those couple moments that slip by, and we saw, of course, a lot of close games. We saw 3 1-goal games, and they're still very close. They just need that little bit of extra bump during these series, and very well could have turned things around. That's their second game 5 loss on the season, but I think they're a very strong 1-4 team.
Yeah, no, I agree here. And divisional matchups are always going to be tough. So I'm sure we'll see some more of them. They do have a tough division, though, with Motion and Samurai. So we'll see what they can do. Hopefully, for their sake, they can bring it back around and bring some battles going into Wednesday and into next week for the last divisional game or divisional match of well, I guess the last divisional match of the beginning of the season, the first set of divisional matches. But we'll see what they can do here. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I would like to give a couple of shout outs here to our premium subscribers. If we're able to throw that up onto the screen, we've had a lot of support here through Nemesis this season. So we appreciate all of our Nemesis premium subscribers, especially Flame, Jax, Wiggle, Benmir, Neons, Street Soul, and Speed, supporting us with Challenger Plus, and everyone who is supporting. We truly do appreciate you guys supporting. And as always, shout out to Neons as well earlier, resubscribed for 9 months. I don't know if we caught him, but shout out again to Neons, the double shout out there. And yeah, reminder to everyone that's watching here, if you're willing and able, all the proceeds from the streams go back into paying the commentators and streamers. So if you think, Crip behind the streams did a great job tonight, which I think he did, and if you think Dronus and the rest of the casters on the night did a great job, feel free to subscribe, feel free to follow the channel, follow along. Everything you guys do is going to go back into supporting those guys. So if you're interested and able, please feel free to do so. But yeah, Jonas, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for the night. Any final thoughts before we send her off?
I'm excited for the rest of the season to continue. I'm excited to see more divisional matchups. If this was just a little taste, if this was just a sliver, I want to see more.
Oh yeah, I would love to see some more divisional matches. We'll see them on Wednesday and then next week Monday. So make sure you guys stick around for those. But that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. So thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you guys later.